Today we're going to be working on this Toyota Tacoma. This is the truck I drive back and forth to work every day. I put about 1,000 to 1,200 K a week on it. I just put these brand new snows on, and I noticed the other day when I was doing my snows, I had a little bit of an issue. Let's see if I can see here. Now, you can't really tell. I'm going to have to get it up. And so what we're going to be doing is inner tie rods, outer tie rods, and steering rack boots. It is going to be a little difficult because I did lose like half my thumb yesterday, but it's going to be okay. I'll get this thing jacked up and I'll show you guys how bad they are. We built little tools to actually help us. So what these tools are going to do is they are going to be bolted to the actual wheel bearing so we can do our measurements to make sure that our alignments have decent. We are going to take it for an alignment afterwards, but these right here, we have one for each side, is going to make it so that we can get it pretty close to ballpark, because it's still another 2 weeks until I can get into the actual alignment place to get an alignment done on this. So let's get it jacked up and I'll show you guys some of the issues and then we'll go from there. So this is what we're doing. Ready? You see that? I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, the inner tie rods are gone, and it's making this thing incredibly hard to steer, and it just kind of grabs and goes where it ever wants to go. I was supposed to take it into a shop, but there's like a month-and-a-half wait for them to be able to get me in to do tie rods. But it was only a 4-week wait to get an alignment. So I bought all the tie rods myself. So what we're going to be doing is, I believe these are the boots for the steering rack. Yeah, those are some steering rack boots, inner tie rods and outer tie rods. You know what, I probably don't need outers, but if I'm doing all this, I'm just going to buy inners and outers, because then that way it's so much easier to put them in. And I got greasable ones. I'll probably never grease them in their entire life, but I bought greasable ones. That's all that matters. I tried. So let's get those tires off and then we'll start doing some stuff. I'll show you guys the basics on how to do this, but you should still take it in for an alignment. So here's passenger side. We just undid the nut and then pounded it with a hammer. We're not planning to reuse these, so that's why we can be so rough. We cut the boot off because we got new boots, and these ones here were all wrecked. The amount of water that came out of this was crazy. But how do I know these are bad? Ready? And I think this is honestly the good one. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw some tires underneath here, make this thing a little bit safer, and then we're going to crawl underneath there and take these tie rods out. There is a specialty tool for this. We should be able to actually just get a wrench on it because of how open these Toyota Tacoma ones are, but I don't actually have the specialty wrenches. When it's a spot that I don't have the specialty wrenches for, I usually just put a big pair of vice grips on it and I'm able to break it loose. So let's get this off of there and get going. So it's kind of hard to show you, but when these are in there, you got to fold these things back over to take it out. They're folded over to get them on, and then what happens is you basically take a little hammer and you fold them over to get them off. Now the new one does come with a new piece. So this here just goes inside these little cutouts like that. Then you fold it over and it kind of locks it on there as a safety. But I bought the premium ones of these, and I'm a little upset that it didn't come with any of the little clamps. So we did cut the old one in half to get this clamp out, and then this one up here. Oh, they gave us zip ties. That's super nice. I'm going to use this one down here because that's the one that's supposed to be there, and then I'll probably use the zip ties at the top. What a bunch of cheap bastards. So this one right here is pretty much the exact same. It's already greased. Just going to slide this piece onto here, and we're going to install it. I did use vice grips to take this off. So I just used vice grips and put them on there super tight. I hit it with a hammer and they usually come off. But what we're going to do is we're going to clean this one out because it's got quite a bit of mud in there, and then we're going to install this one. So if you guys at home that don't have specialty tools, you're going to want to measure from like here to here, because like if you line this up beside it, like these new ones you get could be a little different, right? Like this one here is just a little different. It's like a 1/4 inch different. That's enough to really screw some stuff up. But I don't need any of this because I have these, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to use these here in a bit. But we just got this cleaned off, so what we're going to do is just going to put this on here like this. We're going to put this in here, and we're just going to start threading that in. We're going to tighten that down, and then look at the difference. Look at that. Oh my goodness, what a difference. You can almost thread it in from back here, it's so tight. So let's get this one put on, and then we're going to throw this on, and then I'll go from there. I'm going to put the boot on after I put this on though, so hold on, we'll be right back. So this might be a little blurry because of how close it is, but we just tightened this down with the vice grips, and then we just folded this over with the hammer. So what we're going to do is unscrew this right now. What a difference from the old tie rods to these ones though, holy. Slide this unit on, right over top. And we're going to put our zip ties on here, and we're going to put our clamp on here. And then we're going to do all the stuff out here, so let's get this done. So we got both sides on. My grease gun just had a little bit of a fit trying to put grease into that. But what we're going to do now is we're going to bolt on these attachments I made for this, and then we're going to try to set our alignment. So let's go for this now. We'll get these things bolted on, and they get bolted on extremely simple. We just use the factory existing lug nuts. Please work. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's like I actually measured that. And then we just run a tape from side to side. Now this is not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough until you actually get an alignment. For me it is. You guys might want something a little different. So let's get these things bolted on and go. So we have the steering wheel facing straight, and then we have these things bolted on there with two measuring tapes going across. And then they're just drooped over this side. So right now we're 58.5 on the back and 59 on the front. But then what we're also going to do is we're also going to go from, pick a point on the chassis, we're just going to go right here. So we're like 14 1/8. So let's come over to the other side. Pick the same point on the chassis. 15. So that tells me that we have to bring this side in. So bringing this side in, yep, that's actually what we have to do. So we're just going to slowly mess around with these numbers until we have the same number on the back side, same number on the front side, same number from here to here, and on the other side, same number. So let's do some math and some adjusting. So we got this thing completely done now, as far as I'm concerned. We got the measurements from the frame being the exact same. Got the measurements out here being the exact same. It does look like it's on an angle to me. I don't know why. .48 3/4, 48 3/4. It does look a little messed up to me, but maybe I'm just seeing it weird. I don't know. But the measurements don't lie. Maybe it's the tapes. I should be using two of the same tapes, but I can't find two of the same tapes. And yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, this is done. We're going to put the tires back on, and then we're going to take her for a test drive. So we got the tires on now. No inner tie rod noise. No ball joint noise. Hopefully we fixed the issue, because this was definitely a problem. Yeah, I think that was a bit of a problem. It's blowing bubbles. So we're just going to check the tires for air pressure, and we're going to go for a test drive. This here is just a home backyard alignment. This is not a showroom quality alignment, so it will have to go in to get final touch, and it is scheduled to go in, but this is good enough to get you to the alignment place where they can set your toe, your camber, everything. We didn't really mess with camber, but I do like to get them checked out, especially when I do buy nice tires. So let's get air in the truck and the tires and set her down. So this truck has 486,000 kilometers on it. I actually think those are probably the original inner tie rods on this thing. But the wheel is not straight, but guess what, guys? It drives pretty good. It doesn't pull hard one way or the other. This is why it's still got to go in for its alignment. It's pulling a little bit, but not much. There we are doing 90. Not really pulling. steering feels much better. I know that doesn't look much better, but it actually is much better. Steering wheel being a little crooked is going to drive me crazy, but that's why we have it going in for an alignment afterwards. But 486,000, almost 487,000 on this truck, and I bet you those were the original tie rods. So I think that's a job well done. It can go in for an alignment now, and we can save our snow tires, we can get better fuel economy, all that fun stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. See you guys back here tomorrow on Zach's Workshop.